Hello. We are going to make a oxtail whisk. Um, you may have seen my other videos where we made a round whisk or a cake tester scrubber or a turkey wing. This time we are going to make a oxtail whisk. So you will need all the same supplies. You need that approximately 1/4 pound of processed broomcorn, your foot brake that has been wrapped with your number 18 nylon twine, your jerk string, your short string here to make the hanging loop, a lighter, and a pair of scissors. The other tools that you're going to need are either a PVC pipe cutter or a really sharp knife to trim your broom. And I go over how to trim your broom in another video because that's something we want to do while we're not sitting. We want to do that at a nice sturdy table or countertop or even the floor, but not while we're sitting in our seat. So I'm going to set some of these tools that I don't need currently off to the side. I'm going to put them in close range. What I want to do first is make sure that my foot brake is ready. So I want to make sure that when I put this down on the floor that my string is coming up over the top of the foot brake towards my body. I want to go ahead and get that knot on the end of my string, and I'm going to do that by wrapping it around my finger, making a little X there, pinching it with my thumb. I'm going to slide it off of my finger so there's a little loop, and that tail that's right here I'm going to push through the loop, and I'm going to pull it tight, and that makes a little knot on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and put this foot brake at my feet, and it is ready to go. I want to make sure that I have enough string so that it is at my belly button right here. I'm sitting up nice and tall, and the string is at my belly button. So I'm going to just kind of set that over my leg. And now I want to prepare my broomcorn. I want to go through it and make sure all of the sweep ends are going the right direction. And the sweep end is all of the, and you can see I have some shorter pieces down here, and that's fine. The sweep end are all of these pieces here that look like split ends on hair. Those split ends on the broomcorn are what make it a superior fiber for sweeping. It gets into all the little nooks and crannies. It picks up all the dirt and debris, kind of holds it in there. So I'm just pulling out little pieces that I don't particularly like in my brooms. And then I'm going to kind of tap it on my knee to get those sweep end pieces. They're not all going to be exactly the same spot, but pretty level. And this end down here, it's not going to be even, and that's okay. We're going to end up trimming that at the end. So now we want to split our broomcorn. With a oxtail whisk, you just want your number to be odd. So with the turkey wing whisk, I used an even number of 8 sections. With a oxtail, we want to have an odd number of sections. So you can make that 9, you can make it 13, you can make it 5, you can make it 3. You can make it as many sections as you want to. They just need to be odd. So I'm probably going to do 7. So I like to pull just a little section off, and let that be my first, let that be section 1. Then I'm going to do just like I did with my turkey wing, if you saw that video, and I'm going to split it in half. And since I'm doing 7 sections, I'm going to split this to where, do that. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do 9 actually. So 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I've kind of made like a little X there, and I do that so that my broomcorn doesn't get all mixed together, and I can pick up my sections easily. I'm going to set it to the side of my chair so that I can easily bend and grab it. If you have a table close to you or another chair or stool, it's good to set it there where it's in arm's length, but I'm just going to set mine next to my seat here. So I have my foot brake on the floor. I'm holding it with my feet. I have my string coming over the top of it, and it is coming here to about my belly button. I am going to take my twine that has the knot on the end. I'm going to measure about a hand width up, and that's where I'm going to stick. I'm going to kind of split my broomcorn on the sweep end, okay? And I'm going to put my knot inside of there. I'm going to kind of hide it in. And now I'm going to start wrapping and rolling towards my body. And I want to wrap so that the twine is next to the other piece of twine like this. Okay, we don't want it crisscrossing at any point. We want them side by side like this. And we are going down this direction towards the handle. We don't want to wrap towards the sweep. We want to wrap towards the handle. So I'm always wrapping towards my body. Once I've gone around about 3 times, I pull the tension really tight. And by really tight, I mean I want to hear that really ugly bass sound. Okay? That means it's tight enough. If it's not tight enough, you're not going to get that. Okay? Really tight. And you can wrap this as many times as you want to, because we're going to do a solid wrap on this one. So on the turkey wing whisk, we did what was called an open wrap, and we had to do an angle and things like that. We're going to do a solid wrap on this one. So, and you can do solid wraps on the turkey wing, but we're doing a solid wrap on this hawk's tail. So now I've gotten to a point where it's about as thick as I like it to be. And now I'm going to grab my next section of broomcorn, kind of tap it to get it all the same. And I want to put it underneath the twine, okay? And then you can see I'm holding this piece here, kind of holding it like that, my thumb on there, and I'm sliding this up. And I'm going to make it so that these are pretty even right there. I've got it on the side. Now, one thing we're going to do with this, because we're rolling it towards our body, this broom is going to want to be round, but we are making it flat, okay? And in order to make it flat, we have to pinch it while we're wrapping. So I like to keep my hands kind of, if you were making a C or like pinchers on something, shadow puppet making like your alligator or crocodile, you want to have, or a talking hand, so you want to have kind of like that claw. And what that's going to do is it's going to pinch here. And so as I wrap towards my body, I'm pinching it, keeping it flat. Now once I get to the other side, I'm going to get my next section of Broomcorn, tap it, put it underneath, slide it to get it to kind of line up. So you can see there I have Broomcorn on both sides. Now I'm pinching it flat, and I'm going to keep wrapping, and then I'm going to pull tight. Now you can see it closed it off together. That's okay, because on the other side I can see what I started with there. And this piece is sticking off and it's breaking. So I'm pulling tension every couple times that I wrap. And remember, we're doing a solid wrap, a closed wrap. That's what this is called. And so you can go around as many times as you want to. I just kind of eyeball it and try to get it about the same width. I use my hands to measure all the time. So I may use my thumbnail. That's about the width of this first section here is my thumbnail. So I'll come up here, I may wrap 1 or 2 more times. Now, I'm on the front side there. I'm going to grab my next section of Broomcorn. Tap it. I'm going to slide it underneath that twine. You may get a broken one every now and then. Slide it until I get it lined up. Pinching, wrapping to the other side. Getting another section of Broomcorn. Wrapping, put it underneath. Slide it. Okay, it's on both sides. Again, I'm pinching, keeping it flat, wrapping. And you may have to use your thumbs or fingers to kind of push it where you want it to go. Pull tension. And I'm going to wrap again. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to get another section, put it underneath, putting it on that side, sliding it up, pinching, rolling towards my body. Grab another section. Underneath. Slide it up. Pinch it. Tension. Roll towards my body. Always wanting to pull tension, because the tension is what is holding this broom together right now. Okay, we haven't made any knots other than the one we started with, but we haven't knotted or tied anything off on the broom. So we're still, all of this is held together by tension. So I always want to make sure it's tight, because once I cut this, if it is not tight, it will fall apart. Okay, and all that hard work you did is gonna be laying around in the floor. So you'll have to use another broom to sweep it up. So it's repetition until you are done with all of your sections, and I'm on my last two right now. Pinch and roll. Here's my 9th section. Slide it up. Let it go. On this side, I may have to slide it around a little bit before I pull that tension on there. And we're going to wrap. Now, the handle part is where you get to be really creative and you get to do whatever you want to do. Now, I could wrap this solid all the way up the handle, but I think I really like to, this is where I like to get creative. So sometimes I make it solid, sometimes I might actually like pull out pieces or sections like this and wrap underneath that so that it creates a weave in the handle. You just have to be careful doing that to make sure you don't break the broomcorn. But once I get this is where I want it, now if I want to make a diagonal, I can. I just have to like angle my broomcorn, angle it up there, pull it tight, wrap it around. This is that open wrap that I was talking about that we did on the turkey wing. You can do all sorts of designs in your handle and make it your own. You know, you're going to get a very different look depending on how many times you wrap it through there. And you can make your handle as long or as short as you would like. For the sake of time, I'm not going to keep making that wide band. I'm just going to make a little thin one there. And I'm going to come up to about here. Well, I may do 2 more. As you can see, you just kind of do what you feel. This is your broom. Like I said, this is where you get to be creative and do your own thing. So now I'm going to bring it up, and I have enough here that I'm going to stop here because I've got a nice handle on this hawktail broom. But I want to leave this down here so that I can make a scrubber. You do not have to do that. You can wrap it all the way up if you want to and have a really long handle on your broom. And sometimes I do that. But most of the time, I make my handles about this length so that I can make a scrubber or cake tester off their end. Personally, that's just what I do because I like to get the most out of my 1/4 pound of broomcorn. But again, this is yours. You can do with it what you want. But now that we're at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and finish this broom off. So I want to get my jerk string ready, and I also want to get my little string that I cut in order to make a hanging loop. And we are going to put one of those ends underneath the twine and put it here. And we can cut this tail off if we want to later. And I'm going to wrap around to the other side. I'm going to put that other side in. And so now I have a hanging loop here. And I'm going to keep pulling this tension. And I want to wrap at least 3 times, pulling really tight each time. Because we're getting ready to tie this broom off. We do not want to lose all that tension. So now I've gone around at least 3 times. It's really tight. going to take my jerk string and I want to put the loop end towards my handle and my knot towards the sweep end of my broom. Okay, and I'm going to put it underneath that twine again. Knot towards the sweep, loop towards the handle. And again, I'm going to pull tension and I'm going to wrap it 4 times. Pulling that really tight tension each time. When I've got it 4 times, I'm going to put my thumb on top of that string and I'm going to hold it there. Don't let that thumb go. And then we're going to cut it. I am holding this, you can't see, but I'm holding my thumb on there really tight, okay? Don't want to let my tension go. So now I'm going to take the tail that I just cut and put it through the loop. Then I'm going to put my finger down here through the loop where my knot is, and I'm going to jerk or pull all the way through until my jerk string is out. Now do you see I'm still holding my thumb here? I want to pull that tail just to make sure it's through. Now it's good. And I can trim it. I can trim these little tails off, or you can leave them if you want. And this is where your lighter comes in. Your twine that you're using is it's a synthetic, it's a nylon twine. So these will fray on the ends, and I don't like that fray on there, so I like to use a lighter to kind of melt those ends. And I will tell you, it does get very hot. You don't want to hold this flame on there too long, because I have burnt through or like melted through my twine, and that's no fun. So now I want to take my broom and I'm gonna kind of pull it and fan it out. And I can either leave the end up wild here, or I can take my scissors and I can trim it a little bit. I just want to give it a little trim, okay? I don't want to cut all those nice split end hairs off. That's what actually sweeps up the dirt. So, and I usually flip it to the other side to see if I've got any pieces that I missed. And voila, I have a hawk's tail whisk. Down here on the end is where you can trim this off and you can make your scrubber. You can throw this away, you can do with it whatever you want. But here is your hawk's tail sweeper. If you like this video, if you think I did a pretty good job of showing you how to make the broom, give me a thumbs up. This is a private video, so no one else is going to see your comments unless they have the link to the actual video, because these are not public currently. I do value your feedback. That's how I get better at helping you and helping others. So please leave me some notes in the comments and let me know if you enjoyed this, if you hated it, if you think that there's something that I should add to make this easier to follow or easier to make. If you want to see other videos on how to make other brooms. But currently, I appreciate you coming along this journey with me, making this hawk's tail broom, and I hope you had a good time. So check out the other kits and the other broom making videos, the turkey wing whisk, the round whisk, how to trim the end of your whisk. And until next time, happy sweeping.